So now comes the part where I sit and wait patiently for those of you that want to join me to join me. I have patience. I can wait. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fool around with some stuff. I really don't know what I'm doing here. Nope. 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 Let's see. Okay, that's all fine and good. Well, hello again, YouTubers. If I get two thumbs up, I'll begin my rant on my title. In the meantime, I finish my juice. I'll wait patiently. I should have used the back of this camera so I can get better lighting, but I think it's gonna do. I gotta do better with this stand. And stop looking up at it so much. Let me play around with it while I wait for you all to join me. Chat filter, top messages, show all messages including potential spam. Okay, got that. So, community moderation, live chat is on, participation, everything, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Community defaults. So if you've already joined me and you're waiting for me to start, give me a thumbs up, a hello. Let me know that you're there. Y'all got to remember I'm fairly new at this. So hi everybody. Now I see you all. Sorry, I'm doing this with my phone, so I was unable to see everybody popping in. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. I got a question for y'all. Does it sound like I'm too loud right now? Because I'm still playing with this microphone thing. If I'm too loud, just give me a simple yes. Thank you. Please subscribe. Now my question is, if I'm coming over too loud, will somebody please say yes or no? Because I feel like I'm screaming. Well, in the meantime, I'll just continue to rant. Don't worry, y'all. It's just juice, apple juice. I'm still working out this YouTube live thing. My title, I'm assuming you all can see my title okay, but I'm gonna take these specs off because I've been wearing glasses all day. I don't want to wear glasses. So in case you all didn't see my title, it's not cheating if your spouse watches. And actually, there are several blues artists and even some R&B artists that made songs like that. And this is a follow-up in reference to Jody that don't watch football. Let me tell y'all something. And I might step on some toes, but I'm not gonna make any excuses right now. So if it applies to you, just, step your game up or go tell it. Whatever you got to do to fix it. But I'm a firm believer of if you've been in a relationship 6 months, 6 years or more, and if you're still out here cheating, and this can be for both sides, this can be for the lady, this can be for the man. If you're out here cheating and you have somebody that's being good to you, being faithful to you, but they might have a little bit of a wild side, you're starting to feel guilty. Like the blues song say, it ain't cheating if she watches. So invite her to watch. This doesn't necessarily have to lead to a 3-way and a, 2 years now, it's a 12-way and all this stuff, but why not? If you're that bold enough to go out here and run around cheating, and then your jump off is well aware of that you have somebody at home. This is what I find funny. It's always the jump off that knows everything about your household, but your spouse don't know nothing about the jump off. So I just feel like you should be honest, if you be honest with your spouse, that gives that person, and I'm gonna try to stop saying he and she. This applies for both, on both sides of the fence. If you be honest with your spouse, that gives that person time to either accept it, say, okay, sure, I'll watch, let me see what y'all up to, or give that spouse time to get out of the relationship. Because in some cases you can get out there, and I'm gonna keep it clean. Everybody know about the diseases. I'm not gonna dive deep into diseases today, but you can go out there and create a whole nother family. You got a whole nother 2 or 3 kids somewhere because you've been dealing with this side piece for the last 3 years. And then you got to try to figure out how you're going to try to support 2 households. Then you got to take another job. You got to do all these things. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, you and your spouse well aware of your other situation. And yes, she agreed. No, it's not cheating if I watch. So then she's sitting there taking notes, watching. Man, she realized you ain't really doing no more better than you were doing at home with her. So she going to let you have your little party and your cake and eat it too. Now that she's aware of it, let's just say jump off, get a kid or get pregnant. You and wifey don't have kids, or maybe a grown kid off to college, whatever the case may be. Wifey might be wanting to help with the child, help with the baby. Treat as if that kid is her own. And these kind of things do happen. Yeah, I'm not just making this stuff up. These kind of things do happen. So now you got wifey over here, you got side piece over there, and y'all sharing joint custody of this kid, raising this baby. Now I'm not gonna merge this into some type of polyamorous type of relationship, because it's just a simple fact. You got all this stuff going on, and you have a loving, caring spouse at home. Maybe, I don't know. Your spouse may be out there doing their thing too. But question for the men, let's just say you do get bold enough and you grow a big enough pair to go home and tell your wife and say, well, baby, I know we talked about this and that. I know we got a little imagination. We talk about fetishes and fantasies. I got somebody that you like to watch. Now, what if she says to you, now I'm talking to the men, oh, that's all fine and good, but I got somebody too. Would you like to meet them? See, now, men, can you handle that? Because a lot of time, us men, we want everything. We want it all. We want everything on our plate. But then you come find out your spouse, I'm going to go back to calling her Kim. She's had Jody all along. So now she asking you the same question. Well, dear, would you like to watch? See, this a whole double standard thing. When we guys seem to think that we got the upper hand on everything, in a lot of cases, your woman gonna be 3 steps ahead of you. So when you start talking about all that stuff that you want to do, you want to watch, I notice it just got dark in here, y'all. I don't want to get up and turn the light on right now because I got to stay in this and stay focused. So now the wife don't flip the script. She's asking you, you want to watch her and Jody. Can you handle that? Can you handle sitting in that corner, in that chair, as a devoted, well, I won't call you devoted because you've been cheating the last 2 years, but as a husband with a side piece? Can you handle sitting in that chair over there in that corner watching your wife do her thing? Y'all know what they call that chair? It rhymes with Chuck. Chair. That one chair that sits in the corner, and almost everybody has one in their bedroom. So, men, can you handle sitting over there in that chair and watching Kim and Jody? Because you brought all this stuff into the household because you want her to watch, because y'all have already talked about all these fetishes and fantasies. But the funny part is, guys, you may be thinking, well, she said we can talk about anything, so I'm gonna put it on the table. But you don't even realize that she was already was 2 steps ahead of you. She was baiting this whole thing for you to bring out what you had to bring out. Because she tired of running around cheating and hiding Jody and wait for you to go to the bar and go to the football game so Jody can sleep. Yeah, Jody been over to the house. Why you don't know? Your wife's smart. The same cologne she bought you, she bought too. Guess where the other bottle at? Yeah. And I ain't trying to start that at home. I ain't trying to make y'all start looking out for stuff like that. But I'm just saying, as men, we think it's okay for us to do all these things. But why is it not okay for your wife if she decides she want to take somebody else and she want to be honest with you about it? This thing works both ways. And this does not have anything to do with those of you that are like this, committed relationship. Only thing between y'all is air. It's had nothing to do with y'all. So don't start looking at each other funny. This is all about those of us. And I'm not going to keep saying y'all. I'm going to include myself in this, even though I'm single. This is all about those of us that are trying to maintain 2 different lifestyles. This goes back to me saying a lot of time men are out here trying to find something they think they don't have at home. How do you know you don't have it at home already? You won't talk to your lady. You won't find out what her kinks are, her fetishes are. Because a lot of time her fantasy, and this is an easy way to overlook it. If you ask a woman what her fantasy is, 9 times out of 10, it's going to involve music, walking down the beach, and a dinner. Stop asking her about the fantasy. Ask about kinks and fetishes. It's Friday. We've all probably already worked our tails off this week. So it's time to just really talk about some serious matters, okay? We ain't finna be, I'm not talking about work. I'm not talking about the color of my car. Forget all that today. I'm gonna have an adult conversation. I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as I possibly can. So, men, don't ask her about a fantasy. Ask her about kinks and fetishes. Because you may have some, and in a lot of cases, and this is from research, this is from me listening to podcasts and all these things. In a lot of cases, the woman is a little bit more kinkier and has a little bit more fetishes than the man does. In a lot of cases. I don't know each one of you, so I'm not pointing fingers at you. So you ain't got to clap back at me. I'm just putting this out here. I'm making this as a broad statement to cover those of us that are and aren't, allegedly. So back to you, Mr. Man. You've been dealing with your side piece all this time. So you and your wife already talked about, we can talk about anything. We can be open. And now you bring in the idea of, you come home to Kim, your wife. Baby, we talked about threesome and stuff. I know somebody, what do they call it? MFF. Male, female, female. She was like, okay, that sounds cool, but we already know how I stand on that. But how do you feel about MFM, male, female, male? Oh, hell no, oh no. See, men, you can't handle that stuff. Here's the thing. You can't sit there and legitimately say you down for whatever if you can't stomach the fact that she might want to have a Jody over there. And either you right there beside her, you holding a hand, or you sitting in the chair watching, and you can't handle that. So you're not down for whatever. These are some of the things that are going to come up in these conversations. Because, like I say, a lot of time women are a lot more advanced, a lot kinkier, have way more fetishes. We ain't going to even talk about fantasy because, like I said, we ain't talking about walking down the beach and listen to the shore. We ain't talking about that tonight. That's for early in the daytime talk, okay? It's Friday evening. Some of y'all probably already had 2 shots. I haven't had anything yet. I'm coming at you straight, clear-minded. The only thing I've had today is coffee, water, and apple juice. So, back to the subject at hand. Fellas, can you handle that situation? If your wife really came to you about this, you come to her about this. Because 99% of the time, no, we ain't gonna go that high. 75% of the time, when a man bring up a fantasy or a 3-way, it's gonna be him and 2 females. And I'm talking about this because somebody was talking to me about this the other day. And before you get all nervous, Mr. Man, Mr. Husband, No, it ain't gay because your wife want to have two men. Yeah, I'm here to turn some light on. It's extremely dark here. I think it's about to storm. Will y'all excuse me a minute? I have lights and I won't even use them. I have those little vlogging lights that like I said, I got free. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So, Kim wants to have a three-way, but she wants to bring Jody in. And she started telling you about Jody. But both of y'all sitting over here, opposite sides, neither one of you have really discussed the really serious nature at hand. Both of y'all have had side pieces for at least 3 months to 2 years. So once all that comes to the forefront, ain't no sense in talking about, well, why you were doing this all these years, how long y'all been, ain't no sense in talking about that. It's the here and now. So she got ideas, you got ideas. Or you step it up. Maybe she'll bring Jody, maybe you'll bring your jump off. Then you're gonna increase it to a four-way. Guess who's gonna be the most jealous person in the room? It's gonna be the husband, 9 times out of 10. Because his ego ain't built for that. We are so competitive, we can't stand the thought of somebody cutting grass better than we cut grass. We can't stand the thought that somebody can paint a bedroom better than we can paint a bedroom. You know, and I understand the whole aspect of being competitive. I understand that, but you can't shortchange your wife and your side piece because you think you the best thing since sliced bread. They've both had better, they've both had worse. You somewhere in the middle, you know. And a lot of you guys, you are the best thing since sliced bread to her. But for the majority, we've been in a relationship for a while. We're shooting average at best. Average at best. So now you want to open this thing up. You could come up with the idea. I'm gonna see if wifey want to join me in side piece, because side piece been putting an idea in your head too. She don't see your wife. Like I say, side piece knows everything. Jody knows everything. The side piece knows everything. The only people that don't know what's going on is y'all two with each other. And see, that's how stuff gets started. You know, you got to be honest with each other. And these are some of the conversations, if you're new in a relationship, especially new, and y'all have touched on the subject of intimacy, y'all need to have this conversation. Not to say having the conversation means y'all gonna open the door for all this play and extracurricular activity, but you owe it to yourself to find out what the other person is really about. See, you don't want to ask the right questions. You know, I have people asking me questions. What do I think about this? What do you think about my husband if he does this? But you can't even ask your own husband. I don't know. Bring him over. Maybe the three of us will talk about it. I'll ask the question you're afraid to ask. But he can't get all crazy acting on me because this is stuff you want to ask. And I don't understand how you could be in a relationship. You know, you can know each other's shoe size, what time y'all go to work, what type of insurance y'all got, your last relationship, but you don't know nothing about each other when it comes to intimacy. What really gets them going. Yeah, you stay there and be bored. Stay there and be bored. A lot of times, guys, it ain't you. She's gonna please you. You know, I don't know if the wife is still gonna please you because I don't want to say that's her right, but y'all married, so she's gonna take care of her husband. She's gonna break them off. But think about it this way, guys. Do you want a cold steak or a warm steak that's hot and juicy? So you got to figure out how to get her back into the game. You know, those same routines, the 3 moves that you have mastered over the last 5 years with wifey. It's time to get a little bit more creative. Just cause you bringing up the whole idea of watching, you know, start off with that or watch some movies. You know, a friend of mine was talking the other day, and we was talking about watching porn, and I was like, well, I get bored with it. If I gotta watch, I'd rather watch it live. I mean, this scripted stuff, I don't want to watch this. You know, Maybe when I was younger, when I had no business watching, yeah, okay, yeah, ooh, wow. But you learn and you grow. I'm not trying to reenact something I seen on television. And then here in the past, when I would come meet somebody new and I start talking about certain things and certain experiences, this will let you know how inexperienced somebody is. So as soon as they compare me, oh, you trying to be like 50 Shades of Grey. Not that boring ass movie, I'm not. No, I'm deep dark black, if anything. That movie was boring. But it was okay for people that's not exposed to a lot of things. So, and when people start meet me and they talk to me about things, they immediately start making reference to movies they've seen. No, a lot of time there are those of us that are out here that really truly enjoy the darker side of things, if you will. And you may very well be married to that person. Guys, you may be married to that woman that you know, she's a dominatrix. She really don't want to be submissive. She rather be the dominant one in a lot of cases, a lot of situations. But you won't relinquish some of that control and allow her to be herself. So now you just shut her down, and vice versa. Ladies, you just shut him down because y'all didn't discuss these things going into this marriage. Now you've been married for a while. Now you stalling out, and you're wondering why. And if you think your answer is to go out there and find a jump off, that's not the answer to the case. In a lot of cases, talk to each other and see where you guys can meet in the middle on this whole thing. Cause I don't understand how people can be involved and don't know each other's deepest, darkest, most intimate ideas. I'm just trying to keep this clean. You know, I think we need to get beyond what we were taught when we was younger. Things that being ashamed of, you know. Think about it, guys. A lot of y'all, you got caught. How can I clean this up? Getting yourself off when you was young. You probably got a whipping over it. You got a good talking to. Well, you're not a little kid no more. You don't have to be ashamed of it. You know, maybe she want to watch you relieve yourself. You ever thought about that? You don't have to always finish with the last stroke of death. She get 2 or 3. You can roll over and just say, and don't say nothing. Just take matters into your own hands. She may ask to sit up and watch that. Cause she want to watch. She don't even know how you get yourself there because she's never seen you get yourself there. Then guess what? Now that she knows, she's been studying you, she may come home one day and give you one of the best handies you've had because she studied. Because y'all never done this. See, and there was even no see, it's a way you can do things. If you open, you talk to that person. You know, just like when I started doing this YouTube thing, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about certain subjects. You know, somebody might see this. I ain't worried about that. I'm a grown ass man. I can talk about whatever I want to, as long as I ain't hurt nobody. As long as I know that I'm being very mature about this, and I'm hoping I have a mature audience because I have this little 18 and over block, whatever thing set up, so we can all go for it. And I would appreciate if y'all send me some comments, but I'm not going to do it this moment. Let's put my glasses on and try to read these comments and everything right now. I will take a look at them because it will stop me from talking and start reading. And see, because I don't want to do that. I'd rather just go on and keep going where I'm going. Now, let's get back to the missus. So y'all don't open this door up. But you never answer her question. Are you going to watch me and Jody? She don't say nothing till the next week. She bring it up again and again. And the more she bring it up, the smaller you start to feel. You're so afraid that whoever this Jody is, he gonna knock her block off in front of you. Well, let me tell you something. Jody been knocking that block off. So now that he knows that you're gonna be over there in that chair in that corner watching, oh yeah, Jody gonna show out. Jody gonna show out. He gonna up. whatever he's doing that has her going back for the last year, he gonna up that. Cause he got something to prove. And there's a song called that, I Got Something to Prove. So now Jody gonna show up and show out. And bro, don't be throwing in no towel. Hey man, hey, wait a minute. No. We don't do it like that. Of course y'all don't do it like that. That's why she got Jody. And that's why you got old girl over there. See, you gotta be mindful of the situation. So my advice to you, husband, all those weekends you was at the bar, you come home sloppy drunk. This is not a sloppy drunk moment for you. When Jody come over there, she finally got you where you agree to do it. I don't know how she talked you into it, but she finally, I don't know. Maybe she did a handy for you. And that was a seal of the deal. So now Jody's coming over. You don't want to approach this situation drunk. At best, when he comes over, offer him some wine. Y'all don't need to be taking shots of tequila and whiskey and all that, because that's gonna mess up the mood. That's gonna alter your thoughts. That's gonna really just trip everybody out. Try to keep a level head, because what you don't want to do is pass out in the middle of this, because then she's gonna really talk about you. She already talked about you because you ain't gotten so comfortable. You think 2 minutes is all she need. Now you over there asleep, and Jody just knocking her block off. So stay sober, stay awake, take a deep breath, just enjoy. Doorbell rings, be a man, let him in. Greet him at the door. Stand tall, because guess what? It's about to be a hell of a night. And all I can say, brother, unless you've always wanted this, you in for a ride. You in for a ride. The situation called talking each other off the cliff. I had a personal friend, and they had allegedly had that same scenario. And she had a Jody. Now, Jody went on the trip. They took Jody on a trip with them. Oh yeah. So they all three chilling out. They don't got checked in. They having a couple of drinks or whatever. Wife had told him, can you excuse us? She literally put her husband out the room because he had already relinquished that control. This wasn't the first time. It's transpired over time. So he's sitting outside. He gets in his truck and he called me. I'm like, oh man, I got to talk you off that cliff. And that's what I did. I started calling him, telling him, all kinds of stuff, telling him where he is right now, telling him how low he is at this point, and Jody's gonna take care of her and blah, blah, blah. And I talked him off that cliff because he was so nervous and excited at the same time. He didn't know, he had to have somebody to talk to. And this went on for years. They were doing this for years, and I would talk him off the cliff every time. Because later, it turns out that was his lifestyle. He preferred that. He preferred to be treated as such or less than, but hardworking man, working 7 days a week, most cases. But Jody was taking care of business. A couple times they would give him permission to watch or whatever the case may be. But back to the strong men that were, man, you crazy? No, I ain't crazy. This is true life stuff. You be the strongest one. But when you open up that door and y'all want to start playing with this kind of fire, be prepared, because I don't really think, how can I say this? You and your wife got a great relationship. Love making, the slow motion, the kissing, all that is passionate. She probably just as stressed as you are at work. She probably got, if not the same, as much stuff going on right now. And she need her block knocked off. And that's why Jody been around. Jody been tuning her up. And that's not to say you can't do it. These are some truths that I'm just throwing out there. I'm just being honest about things that a lot of people would not dare to talk about. to their spouses, significant others, no, and it ain't cheating if she watches, or it ain't cheating if he watches. So y'all just keep that in mind that when you open up this door, especially you guys, you've been wanting to do this for a long time. You over there talk to your side piece because she know your wife fine. She seen her. She know your wife sexy. She know the whole deal. You don't been so bold. You and your wife went to Vegas. You snuck your side piece there because you know your wife go to bed early. She gonna poop out on you around about 9 o'clock. You gonna stay downstairs and gamble, but you on the next floor with your side piece. So you got all that going on. Little let you know, she's just waiting for the right moment. Cause when Jody get up in there, Jody gonna tell her a new one. So buddy, you better be ready. So all that stuff you putting down over there with the side chick and all that stuff. And this ain't gonna be the case all the time. You might show up and show out. Jody might be a dud, but I'm just saying, we ain't gonna talk about who the strongest and the weakest link. I'm just saying, be prepared for if she have that Jody that been knocking her block off. Be prepared for that, cause one of my favorite sayings I used to always say, and I still say to this day, this what you asked for. This what you asked for. I had people tell me that. Oh no, this what you asked for. Oh, and it got better when they said that because you right. You ever been so excited, nervous, and sweating all at the same time where you just want to stop it, but you want to see what's going to happen? It's like being inside your own dream. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm telling y'all, if it's what you're asking for, you better be prepared. You're going to be in for the long haul. Cause see, Jody ain't been doing that 4 minutes and going to sleep. Jody been in there 30, 45 minutes. Jody gonna be in there so long, you gonna have time to leave your house, go to the convenience store, and come back. And Jody's still in there knocking blocks off. And you wonder, well, man, what the world? You trying to figure out what don't happen. You trying to figure out how in the world? Now, all said and done, Jody gone home. Now you feeling some kind of way. Your ego is crushed because you have seen a part of her you didn't know existed. You didn't know your wife was in for the long haul. You didn't know she was a marathoner. You didn't know that. You thought she was a sprinter. You done been to the store and everything. You done came back. Jody's still knocking blocks off. Just going at it. All said and done, this way you come in handy, sir. Yeah, you. She laying over there, she tired. She pooped. Want y'all look up reclaiming your wife. This is where you reclaim her. I ain't gonna say it on here. Just if you know, you know. But this is where you reclaim your wife. Jody gone, now you gotta reclaim her. Now, the only thing I gotta say to that, if you watched her and Jody before she watched you and old side girl, see, now you're nervous. Now you're gonna try to compete and one up your wife for what Jody and her did. But you're used to your wife, you 5 minutes and you sleep. Y'all got this routine. Maybe she telling you, I got to get up in the morning. Maybe she don't want to go 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes because she knows it's going to be the same stroke. I don't know. But now it's next week, 2 weeks later, you're in side piece chance. You're going to try to show out. You're going to try to show out so much, you're going to foul out. Because you trying your best to one up your wife. Stop making it a competition with everybody. Whatever you and the old side girl were doing, y'all do what y'all do. Yeah, you might pull up a little bit stronger. You might want to do that. But don't try to copy and imitate Jody's moves that you just learned. And trust me, don't try to copy and imitate those moves and use it on your own wife, because that ain't gonna even work. Stay in your lane, buddy. Because like I said, this what you asked for. So now you and your girl, your side piece over there, y'all doing y'all thing. Your wife sitting over there and she in the chair. She just chilling out. She sipping on her wine. She's just watching y'all do y'all thing, cause she's still riding high. You look over there, your wife done pulled out this big fat cigar. She don't lit a cigar. And she got that leg crossed. And she got on some of the sexiest boots you ever seen. She in control of the whole situation. Just seeing her like that already don't intimidated you. Cause you didn't know. Cause you don't open up a whole new world now. Ain't no throwing in the towel. Once you cross over into that now, you gotta realize it ain't gonna be quits until she say it quits. In a lot of cases, you open up the door. Yeah, she watching patiently. She's just sipping on her little wine. Y'all got y'all little thing going on, and you trying to tell your wife, come on, get on the bed. Your wife ain't having none of that. This is her opportunity to watch her man in action. This was no three-way. It wasn't no three-way when she was with Jody, right? Okay, so she's gonna study. That whatever y'all gonna do later gonna come down the pike. She just checking y'all out. She over there smoking that big old cigar. Baby, I thought you quit smoking. Don't worry about what your wife doing. Don't be talking to her. It was a moment she fired it up. And she went in your man cave and got one of your best cigars. She already had it in the nightstand. She's smoking one of your most expensive cigars just to let you know she in control. Now you over there say, damn man, I know I probably paid. That probably been like a $30 cigar. You over there tripping. See, she's weakening you because you too busy watching your wife sitting over there. You ain't even see now all that attention you had on the side chick for the last year or two, you can't even pay attention to her. And then side chick she huffing and puffing, trying to figure out what's going on. Baby, what's wrong? Now you trying to, man, I'm telling you, it may not be for you. But if y'all gonna start talking about these things, I'm just saying, guys, when you open up that door, I'm trying to avoid saying Pandora's box. That is so old. When you open up that door, be prepared for all that comes with it. Just be prepared. Because it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit different, as they say. Your wife gonna sit in that chair the whole time. And you made 15 minutes. You out of breath. You laying down, you just chilling. Now, side piece she ain't ready. She ain't ready to call it quits. But you don't blew your round. You worried about your wife. You can't focus on your side piece. Now you laying there on the bed trying to figure out what's next. Now your side piece done got up, went over there and got the cigar from your wife smoking. Girl, how you been doing? Blah, blah, blah. Now they becoming the best of friends. How you gonna handle that? Because one thing for sure, three things for certain. Yeah, I skipped number 2 because we're gonna come back to that. That's involving somebody else. When they get together, and if you already know your wife has no jealousies and you know your side piece don't have no jealousies, they're going to become the best of friends within that moment. And that's why I say one thing for sure, 3 things for certain. The second is you. Now you in the way. You're the uncertainty between the two. See what I'm saying? That's you right there. You between them. That's you. Number 2, you the uncertainty. And they making eye contact. They ain't finna get involved, but they reading off each other. They feeding off each other. Girl, what the hell wrong with him? Side piece telling you that mental telepathy, what they be talking about. Side piece telling your wife, I ain't trying to be funny, but when he was coming over there, he was knocking my block off. I don't know what's wrong with him. And she was like, well, I ain't never seen him go that. See, you so confused. And they over there talking about you. But they ain't really saying nothing bad about you. But you know you came up short. Now you're trying to figure out what they talking about. So now your ego getting crushed. Jody don't show up, showed out. You're about to side piece over here. You couldn't show up and show out. Now your wife and side piece over here talking. Y'all want to see how thick this gonna get. Side piece over there saying, well, how long you been knowing Jody? I heard about him over here the other week. And she, oh yeah, no, when he come back, you come watch. Y'all, yeah, we're gonna now get this. Now, bro, if they want enough for you to be laying on the edge of that bed right now, now your wife just invited your side piece to come to the next round when Jody come back. You know what's about to happen because you showed them, didn't show out. You gonna be in the audience. Let me just say that because Jody gonna come through there smelling good. For some reason, she bought y'all the same cologne, but it seemed to smell better on him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his diet. Side piece sitting there chilling. Wife is going at it with Jody. Side piece don't slid her way on that bed. And you left sitting there holding the towel. All because you were the man at the bar. You was all this. You telling your buddy, I can have you. Oh, I won't. But, Now look here, brother. Let me tell you something. Not only did Jody get your wife and gone, now Jody got your side piece. But this what you asked for. Remember that. He ain't gonna keep the side piece. It's just one of them things. It just all got caught up. Jody, your wife, and the side piece. Now you sitting over there in the corner. Now see, that's where you need to have somebody talk you off that cliff. You need to have somebody on standby to call. Because when you get up and walk out that room and go downstairs or upstairs to your car and have that cigarette, you nervous or whatever, you going to smoke or drink. You need to reach out. You need that lifeline. Okay, it's going to be rough. Let me tell you. I don't have some fella tell me, boy, they went down that road. They couldn't believe what they saw. Man, I got to talk them off the cliff. So y'all be ready for this. So now you sitting over there, bro, man. Jody, your wife, and your side piece. And you don't even know what to do. What you should not do is get your little happy ass on that bed and mess up the rhythm. I'm trying not to cuss y'all. Cause they got a good little rhythm going on. All you can be at this point is support. And yeah, this could be flipped. It could be the reverse, but I'm just saying a lot of times this is how it happens for the man. So then y'all one big happy family. Joe to come over to the cookout. Your side piece coming over to the cookout. You out there fanning mosquitoes, hot as I don't know what, flipping hamburgers and hot dogs. The three of them over there just laughing and kicking. That was so funny. You don't been down demoted to houseboy. All because this is what you asked for. So when you ask for it, you better be ready. You better be ready. All because of a lot of things. I'm gonna tell y'all a lot of things what you could have did. All the time y'all been married. From the last video when I was saying how Jody does not watch football, all that time you were gone, you were studying your wife. You don't even know nothing about that woman. Other than the fact that y'all married and where she work at. You probably remember her birthday. I would hope you do. But the three of them over there having a great time. Because all three of them are very open. They're very comfortable. Now, if you just get out of your own way and check your ego when you go back in there and take them burgers inside, you can go sit down and laugh and have a good time with them. Just have a good time. Because it's already there. You can't, why mess up a good evening? Sit down, pull up a seat. And just ease your way into the conversation. Because here it is. You got your wife, you got Jody, you got your side piece. Now you sitting over here, but you talking to the two women. Jody trying to conversate with you, but you deflected. You doing all this. You're not even comfortable enough to even have a conversation with the guy. Because you can't handle it. You don't know what to do. And it ain't going to be one of them kind of nights where y'all finna all wind up, knocking blocks off. It was just a little get together. Just to get acquainted. But you can't get acquainted because your ego, you shot up, you didn't know your wife was a panther. You didn't know. But you had to go find out, didn't you? So now you're sitting here wondering, damn, he right. I should have asked her about a lot of this stuff before we got married. You can look over there at her. She's sitting over there right now. Look over there. That's she, being nice and calm, being a sweet little angel. She's just waiting. All that time you was gone, all them trips she was taking, she was sitting there lonely. Did you even notice when Jody came over, when he excused himself, he knew right where the restroom was? Did you notice when he went over there to your liquor cabinet and he knew exactly where to reach for the good stuff? Jody been there. But y'all don't open the door up. See, you're not even picking up on all these things. You're not even picking up on it. But don't get upset. Don't get jealous about it, because all this is gonna come to a head sooner or later. Better sooner than later, because now there's got to be some damage control. You don't want to leave your wife. She don't want to leave you. But don't mess up the situation when you two are alone and you keep bringing up Jody. Bring it up in a nice way. What y'all want to do this weekend? Y'all ain't gonna spend every weekend together. But y'all have gotten so comfortable and so committed to this whole thing that she may just tell you that her and Jody going on a 10-mile bike ride, because y'all had those bikes. Your bike been sitting in the garage for 2 years. She been riding hers. She been on the trail. Don't trip, because this is what you asked for. That's gonna be the saying from now on. This is what you asked for. I wish I could tell y'all some more deep personal stuff that I've seen and witnessed in due time, but. Now that Jody's in the picture, and all of a sudden, for some reason, your side piece, she calling you at work or she texting you, well, where you been? I ain't heard from you 2 or 3 days. You pulling away from her. Now you don't pull away from your wife. Now you don't pull away from her. All you got left is football weekend. And you went right back to where you familiar at. Right back at that bar, Saturday and Sunday, watch football with your homies instead of doing some damage control, instead of manning up, calling your side piece over, telling your wife, old girl coming over tonight, well, what y'all doing tonight? We gonna chill? Okay, I might go, I'm going bowling with Jody. See now what was a situation where y'all was gonna watch each other, see how much it's evolved into an open relationship and you didn't even know it? You the last to know. It was 4 of y'all. You the last to know. Your side piece knew. So now it's something else. Now it's something else you gotta try to put on your plate and deal with. Damn, they going out. Well, what's wrong with that? She don't want to sit at home. Your side piece coming over. Your wife been sitting at home for the last 5 years. Now she don't have to sneak and hide and pretend to be with her girlfriend. She can just say, me and Jody going bowling, and they going bowling because they don't want to be in the house. They having a great time. They having fun. I'm not saying that you're not fun, but she was tired of sitting on that couch whenever you came home. And the first thing you do is you turn on football highlights or something that she has no interest in at all. So this is where you're gonna have to start changing up some things. You have to pull back from those sporting events a little bit. Pay a little bit more attention to your wife. So you already know she on the way to go bowling. Your side piece on the way. Why don't y'all get out the house? Because there ain't no sense in you sitting there. You sitting there alone trying to figure out what your wife and Jody doing. Gonna be even worse. You sitting there ignoring your side piece and she asking you what's on your mind and you can't even tell her. Because your mind wasn't ready for this. I think this right here, getting involved in that situation, is a lot worse than when all that time you spent with your side piece, sneaking around, worrying about what your side piece doing, who she got over there. Then you trying to really be the secret on both ends of the playing field. You can't do that. She wasn't doing that. She had already told you. Side piece already told. No, I ain't got time for that. What I got going on with you is what I got going on with you. I like it, but you opening up that door, and then the side piece is starting to realize it's bothering you. She may be on her way out now because she don't want to deal with that mess. She don't want to deal with it. See, there's a lot of things you have to think about when you get involved with this. You know, and this is all because of my title. It ain't cheating if your spouse watches. So I want y'all to think about that. Because there are a lot of people out here that are still playing that same old game, that have been involved with these relationships. And I want y'all to notice something. I kept the obvious out of it. I kept the disease out of it because we're just gonna talk real. We mentioned the fact that somebody might pop up with a baby. But I don't want to make it so gloom and doom. And every time we talk about something, every time the typical thing, every time somebody talk about something adult or sexual related, it got to be a 30-minute spiel on diseases. We all know it. We all know about that stuff. Come on now. We don't even be wasting time on that. We wasting time on the what are you going to do about it when it catches you? All because this is what you asked for. Yeah, brother, man, you wanted that. Because once she told you she was all down for it, you just didn't know how far she was going to go. She been waiting on that moment. Because now she breathed a sigh of relief. She ain't got to hide Jody no more. And you ain't got to hide your side piece no more. But what you didn't know was your side piece was going to be over there with her and Jody. Because once they got to talking. Yeah. Because in a lot of cases, brothers, you're going to probably be that one over there flipping them burgers while everybody else having a great time. Not for some of us. I'm just saying, just be prepared. That can happen. So when you get ready to do this, just keep in mind. And we're going to talk about another subject at another time about men that are happy to be in that position. We're gonna actually talk about that. But for now, I'm not going to eat in y'all face. I'm going to eat my fish and chips that I picked up this afternoon on the way in. And I hope everybody have a great Friday afternoon. And I hope y'all enjoy this video. And I might be back on later to talk about those men that really do enjoy that type of lifestyle. We might touch on that a little bit later. But let me get some food in me and have me a glass of wine. And I will talk to you all really soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.